Hey, Terry, welcome to Hump Day.
Hey.
Indeed, it's been a hump day to get started for sure.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I don't know about you, Terry, but it seems like some days, I don't know if it's like self jinxing or what, but you have a horse that's doing well, and then it gets beat at the very end. And then once it gets beat, it seems like the card tumbles from thereafter.
It does. Yeah.
And I don't know
Absolutely.
why that is. Why is it so hard to regroup and get going again?
I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. It's been a mystery to me for like 60 years now.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm trying to solve that mystery. Today, we're going to try to solve that mystery at Keeneland Racecourse, Terry. Last night, we had on a very young jockey, pretty new in the process, in Marshall Mendez from Charlestown. Did you get a chance to watch Mr. Mendez?
I did. I didn't get to watch it live, but I watched it afterwards. So I was out. So
Well, he's a Puerto Rican jockey, but his path is not the same as like Irad or Jose or any of the others that have come from that phenomenal school over there. He came over here and kind of did it from the ground up.
yeah,
Wanted to be in horse racing, started off as a hot walker, had to go to Thistle Downs. Folks weren't willing to give him a chance. And now all of a sudden the kid's I think he's one of the top leading winners in the country right now. And he's doing that at Charlestown in terms of money.
yeah. I liked him a lot. He's got a good personality, and he sounds like he works really hard. He has a lot of positive attitude. So I think he's going to do well.
Yeah, if you haven't caught that out, I mean, Marshall Mendez, check it out over on our Horse Racing Radar TV on YouTube. If you haven't watched it yet, do so, please. I think you'll enjoy what Marshall has to say. Sean and I talk a little bit about the Kentucky Derby and some news that that's relating to horse racing right now, affecting the game, so to speak. And one of the interesting things is HISA. They're bringing HISA, that Horse Racing Integrity Safety Act. And it looks to me right now, I know it's supposed to start July 1st, and it seems to me like they're scrambling around at the last minute.
Yeah, it does. It does. Yep.
Kind of like us before the show starts.
We had a little tough time, especially me today. But yeah, I was very disappointed about the thing about Grants Pass, because that just about destroys the racing up there. So
Yeah, I figured you were crying on that news that
Yeah.
Grants Pass is not going to have its upcoming meet, and then I think it'd be very difficult for them to have the meet afterwards too, because which horsemen are going to stick around? That's just not going to happen, right?
It's true. Yeah.
Well, one place they don't have that difficulty, Terry, is at Keeneland Racecourse, right?
That's right.
It's probably a lot of people, when you ask them about Keeneland, it's one of their favorite tracks, especially like the jockeys and people within the business. So, well, let's get started on our Keeneland picks, Terry. And race one is kind of it's just every horse hasn't started before, Terry. 4.5 furlongs, maiden 80,000. You have a 4.5 furlong race. They haven't really run that many yet. That's just kind of hard to get a profile of a winner. So to me, there's really interesting that we both have some similar horses in here, because there's a lot of guesswork.
It is. Yeah. Those are babies, never ran. In reality, I would usually just pass this race, but
Yeah, but we can't. And this is the spot where Jared the other day just took the 4 longest shots and ended up hitting one of them. So
yeah. Well, for me, if it's like in a pick 4 or pick 5, I just all the race. I know you make fun of me for that, but a lot of times you get a big shot. Yeah.
Well, I don't make fun of people for getting big shots, but it's definitely something I find to be a peculiar approach to betting.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I would like to all the last leg, especially when I'm further. When I get through the first 3, I'm always like, damn, I wish I would have all that last leg.
Yeah, Rich Pernoff, he does that a lot. He also a lot of races. So
makes you a good handicapper when you guarantee to win it, right?
That's
so
right.
How are you gonna bunch up these babies, Terry? You both like the 3 horses, their top pick. Alibi Ike, Irad's on there, which to me is a big deal, because I feel like Irad is probably one of the more aggressive riders and will do what it takes to find the winner's circle.
Yeah, and this horse's sires win 16% of the time with the first-time starters, and he has a trainer-jockey combination in the last 14 days of finishing the money 3 out of 4 times, winning 2 of those races.
So are you saying Charles has been scratchy since we've come on? Because I know we looked at it right before we came on live. So let me just bring it up just to make sure, because I know they're expecting weather there as well, right? It's supposed to rain. So even one of the races that's on the turf, I'm kind of skeptical that it's going to be on turf. Yeah. But they scratched out the 2 already that were main track only. So that race will get a lot thinner if those 2.
Oh yeah,
if that race goes to Did they scratch more horses at Keeneland?
Yeah, they did.
Race number 1. The only one that scratched in race number 1 is the 7
It's
horse.
7,
so far.
yeah.
So neither one of us have the 7. All right, Terry. So aside from the 3, you like the 4, the 8, and the 1. What's the purpose behind those horses?
Okay, well, on the 4, RYVIT,
Rivet.
Rivet. His
So
sire
isn't that
also.
the sound? Isn't that the sound the frog makes?
It is, yeah, Rivet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, his sire wins also 16% of the time, first-time starters, and he's got a good workout April 5th at Keeneland, 48-1, breezing from the gate, second best out of 10. Joe Rosario's in the irons, and he's trained by Stephen Asmussen. Then my third pick, number 8, Twist of Faith. His dam has 1 winner from 2 starters and 1 stakes winner. And he has a bullet workout on April 5th, 35-2, breezing best of 17. And then number 1, Mr. Gordy is my 4th pick. The jockey in the last 7 days has won 2 out of 8 starts.
I went the 3 horse here. I was going to go with the other one as well. The other Wesley Ward horse, as Charles had mentioned. Wesley Ward with these short sprints is usually pretty good. It's late showers only. It's beautiful now. Are you down there, Charles? Are you at Keeneland? That's what it sounds like. We're getting that on the spot weather report. So I think Wesley Ward on these short races with these youngsters does usually pretty well. It's something to keep your eye on. Remember when we were talking, I think the Chantel Sutherland, she said that these Wesley Ward horses out of the gates are just like bullets that you have to like hold on for dear life. So I think you're going to see Alibi Ike break sharply if that holds true for Mr. Ward. I have the 8 horses, the second shot, Twist of Fate. And to be honest with you, I kind of took the Jared approach from there in that I went with the horses with the higher odds that I thought still had a shot. And Twist of Faith did have that nice workout, the bullet workout, bullet and go, 35-2 for 3 furlongs. Not a bad workout there. Number 2, lone leader, Corey Lanieri, John Hancock. You think how many John Hancock jokes? You think he's learned to sign like John Hancock too, or no?
I don't know. That's pretty fancy.
Yeah, I would have to find. I mean, if my name were John Hancock, I'd learn how to sign like that.
Yeah.
But 2 works ago was a really nice work at Turfway Park. Came back to Keeneland, ran a pretty good work out there too. 18th fastest of 72, and we don't know what company he was keeping for that one. And then I went with the 4 horse like you, Rivet, the frog sounding name. Horse does have the Steve Asmussen, Joel Rosario, wonderful combination, the jockey and trainer there. So I went with the horse. I thought Wesley Ward would have the best horse with that 3 horse up front with the other one scratching. Should get out in a hurry. But then after that, I just played straight odds. I'm going to try to learn from Jarrett and hope that the odds on the 8 and 2, one of them goes up, or both of them go up, and end up catching a price in there as well.
Yeah, that'd be good.
In these 2, bullet workout at the track is shared by most winners. Yeah, in these 2-year bullet workouts, bullet workouts is what a lot of winners have right there.
Yeah, for 2-year-olds.
Thanks for the section. Thank you, Attila. We appreciate that. Hopefully they can be winning selections. That's the point. I've been a little bit cold lately, and I can't tell you how much it bothers me, Terry. Sean and I were having this conversation off the air yesterday, and I get so mad when the horses don't win. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I get frustrated, and I'll tell you, it's hard because we're doing this not only for ourselves, but for other people, hopefully to help them out. So it really frustrates me.
Well, when I stamp my name on anything, my brother, I get a little bit, I become very attached to it.
Yeah.
And Sean was, well, he's only really attached if he's got money on it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not like that. But I think Sean, he's not attached to it now. But he's doing a little bit of extra work, and he's finding out, I think that once you put your name and your stamp on it, you put it out there in the public domain, is definitely, you own it, man. There's no backing out from it. So
that's right.
All right. So race number 2, Terry, is a 1 1/8. Maiden claiming $30,000 for a purse of $39,000. Maidens that are 3 years old and up, and at 1 1/8, they've run 6 races at the current Keeneland meet. 6 of them, 4 of them were won by speed. 3 of the 4 went wire to wire, and every single winner was posts 4 through 7. Looking at this spot, Terry, this nepotism horse, the 8 horse, I really didn't want to take a 7-5 horse, but I just had a very difficult time trying to make an argument for anybody to get in front of him.
Yeah,
Charles, Attila, everybody who's listening. What case do you have for somebody other than the 8?
Yeah, I agree with you. I looked and looked, but number 8, nepotism. He finished third versus Tougher in his last race and received the highest last race speed rating. And he drops in class today, and his best dirt speed is, of course, fastest among today's starters. Then I like number 5 as my second choice, Jedrick. He ran second in his last race, and the trainer wins 66% of the time when bringing back a beaten favorite. And then I like number 2 as my third pick, California Flirt. And the trainer wins 33% of the time in a maiden claiming races. And this longer distance today could help. The jockey in the last 7 days have won 2 out of 8. And I like number 10, Brown Delivers, finished 4th after being bumped at the start, switches to a high percentage winning jockey, and the trainer wins 24% of the time when bringing a beaten favorite back to race again. And the jockey in the last 7 days has won 7 out of 21.
So for me, nepotism, you mentioned the horse facing better company and so forth, but the number I couldn't get past, Terry, trainer Jonathan Thomas, when he moves a horse from maiden special weight to maiden claiming and then first time claiming, he wins those races at 43%. And it's not like he only did like 10 of them and he managed to win 4 of them. He's done that for upwards of, what was it? Was 38 races that's qualified. Mm-hmm. So that's a decent data set right there. And to hit at 43% over 38 race span, and that's a pretty big number. So it's tough for me to get by that number and not have that horse on the top, especially when it looks like the best horse in the field.
Yeah.
Number 5, Jedrick, I agree with you. Last 2 races, he had significant better late pace numbers. We don't know because the horse hasn't made it 3 starts in a row yet, but potentially the horse could take another step forward here in the 3rd start off the bench. Number 6, Brody's Fly, does have the best early pace numbers in the field by a decent margin. Last time out, the horse had the race wide all the way around the track from the 11 post. Today, only the 2 horse to the inside looks to me like it's going to get out of the gates faster, so shouldn't have to take that troubled trip all the way around the track. And then I have number 1, Make Way, as the final selection. Some of the best speed numbers in the field. Trainer Kenneth McPeak in that Tom Carley maiden special weight to maiden claiming, and first time maiden hits at 20%. So you got that classic drop there. Race number 3, Terry, is a 6 furlong race. It is your best bet, and the conditions for race number 3 are: it's an allowance, $10,000 race, purse of $44,000. Fillies and mares 4 years old and up, which is started for a claiming price of $10,000 or less in 2021 and 2022. Why is the 9 horse your best bet?
Well, number 9, Frills. She won her last race at Turfway Park, and the trainer wins 20% of the time when bringing a favorite back to race again, and her early speed running style helps her chances. And then number 6, Russian Roulette. Number 2nd choice. She won her last race at Delta Downs, and the trainer wins 22% of the time when chipping a horse in to race somewhere new. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 5, Delta Gamma Cats. She broke badly in her last race and finished a disappointing 6th. But she drops in class today and should improve while returning to dirt, and the trainer wins 17% of the time in dirt starts. And then number 3, Kitty's Promise, is my 4th pick. She won her last race at Turfway Park, earning the highest last race speed rating.
So I'm approaching this race, Terry, from a little bit of different view. Looking at it, 6 furlongs, 28 races, 23 won by speed, 9 go wire to wire. There is a pretty good rail bias and a inside 3 bias. If you catch a 4 and out, it's pretty favorable. I'm going to start with number 5, Delta Gamma Cats. I think this horse is likely to get a really good trip here with some speed in front, sit med pack, and then run by everybody late, but yet stay ahead of the closers. And if you look at the distance, Delta Gamma Cats seems to prefer running about 6 furlongs. Done it 8 times, 4 wins, 2 seconds. Your top choice, your best bet, Frills, my second choice. I did want to do like you, Terry, and rank it first, but Keeneland is a tricky track, I think, and I like to see horses that have had some experience and some fortune at Keeneland. That's not the case for Frills. It's run there 3 times and is yet to find a top 3 check. Maybe that bullet work on March 11th signals that that's about to change, but we'll see. Until the horse wins there, or even places in the money. He was even thinking about moving a little further down. Number 7, War Empress, has one race on dirt. It was on Keeneland track, main track, and won by 12. Since hasn't raced since November 5th, and the workouts aren't inspiring, but still, that one time across that track, winning by 12, I think against a field of 9, that's a pretty impressive feat. Number 6, Russian Roulette. Ooh, this one, I mean, a lot of these horses had holes in them. And for me, the hole here is this horse is coming from Delta Downs and Prairie Meadows, hasn't been facing the same sort of company that you will see a typical Keeneland horse face. But I remember Ty Kennedy in our conversation with him, and he was saying that there ain't no speed like Delta Downs speed. You got to get out. You got to get out in a hurry. And that's the case for Russian Roulette. The horse does get out to big leads and sometimes tends to fade. But if the Delta speed if there ain't no speed like Delta speed, I expect you're going to see the 6 horse up on the lead. The question is, can it hold it from beginning to end? We shall find out, right?
Yep.
Let's see. Sacred 8. Here, Charles says in that race he's worried about the 8 horse fading at the end. I agree. 8 horse looks like a solid win to me, not at much price in race 2. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to be at a price. The 8 horse is going to be 7 to 5 morning line. What do you think? 3 to 5, Terry?
Yeah. Yeah, it dropped at least 3 to 5. So.
Yeah, that's what I think too. All right, race number 4 is let's look at the qualifications for race number 4. We're looking at a 6.5 furlong maiden $100,000 race. So these are some real horses in here, Terry, for sure. Yep. These are for maidens and fillies and mares 3 years old and upwards, and that's about it. Let's look at 6.5 furlongs on the Keeneland track. 18 races, 13 won by speed. You better get up to the front and get going. And then 9 of which, so half of them went wire to wire, and posts 4 through 7 have been the dominant posts. And this one here, Terry, is my box it up. So let me pull up the box it up on the screen.
Okay.
That's where we take 4 horses, put them in a $1 exacta box, $1 trifecta, a 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. I hit mine yesterday, Terry, for the exacta and the trifecta, and I was kind of disappointed at how it paid. Paid like $33 for the trifecta, and Speed is not winning last week. The closers were what was kicking butt over there at Keeneland. So I had I had the favorite. I think it was like 2 to 1. The second choice, the favorite ran out, and then I had a 7 to 1 and a 12 to 1, and it only paid $33 for 50 cents. I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
Interesting to me. All right. So anyway, looking at race number 4, Steal My Sunshine is the 3 horse, is the one of the 2 e-horses in the field. I think the other one's scratched out of here, so that makes it even the only e-horse in the field, and has the top early pace numbers. And I know Charles just said early pace wasn't winning there by a wide margin. And then his horse is making its second start off the break for trainer Wesley Ward, who wins at a whopping 31%, Terry, second time off the bench. Charging Lady, the 9 horse, I was split the baby here, so to speak, because you got a couple first-time starters in here versus some experienced horses. So I'm going to take the 9 and the 8 as the 2 first-time starters that I think have a shot here. You have decent works out of the 8 with Charging Lady. You got a good combination of jockey and trainer with Jose Ortiz, Todd Pletcher. They've won 4 or 7 together. I'm kind of surprised, both of them being New York-based, that they work so little together. Number 8, Mercy Road, is a $150,000 horse. Luis Saez is the jockey, basically winning training jockey titles wherever he goes. And Mercy Road has a very nice workout on March the 26th, which was then subsequently followed by a good maintenance workout. And then we're going to close it off with horse number 11, West Love. This is a horse that debuted last time out at Turfway Park on the all-weather track. Had a pretty good opening race there, and then just kind of flattened out a little bit. From there, what I liked here is the comment. If you look at the comment in that race, Terry, for the 11 horse, you see it's a chased monster. So after chasing the monster, the horse is going to get some Lasix. So I don't know if the Lasix is enough to slay the monster, but it's enough to be my 4th pick, and it's enough to be your first pick. Did you see the slay the monster comment as well?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I like the outside post better than that six post. Anyway, number 11, West Love, she ran second in that debut race, and that had that great comment. And the trainer wins 20% of the time when going from an all-weather surface to a dirt surface, and she may improve because they've added Lasix. And then number 5, Aliyah Isra. Isra. She has been off since August, but has been steadily working out for a return. She has a good jockey, Flavrian Pratt, in the last 7 days, has won 7 out of 21 and finished in the money 13 times.
It'd be interesting
And
to see how Fabian does on the East Coast. So
yeah,
I'm pulling for the kid.
I am too.
Mhm.
So LASIK's been added to this one also. And then number 3 is my third pick, Still My Sunshine. She has early speed and can lead all the way if she's not pressured. And then I've got number 7, Runaway Wife. The trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days has a record of 11 starts, 3 wins, and
Well,
they added LASIK's.
in that race, in this race, Terry, the other speed horse in here was the 4 horse. I think it scratched out. So
Yeah,
the 3 is going to even have a less of a contended lead than it would have had if the 4 was there.
absolutely. I actually had the 4, and that moved the 3 from my 4th pick up to the 3rd pick. So
All right. Race number 5. Yeah, Charles, I think the 8 horse is going to be it's going to be a very low odds. We talked about, I think it's going to be probably 3 to 5, Terry, something like that.
yeah.
That's what I would expect. What do you, Pratt's 33 week 1. Yeah, I mean, I think he's really good. So it's just that you're going to get bigger fields and stuff now. He's not going to always have the best horse like he had out in California. So eventually I think he'll get run of the barn, so to speak. But we'll find out. Race number 5, Terry, is the race of death. Unfortunately, we have a race of death today. We didn't have one yesterday, but it really didn't matter. We had a few races of death within our own pick 4s. But this one's a 6 furlong allowance, $110,000. It's a big race. This is 3-year-olds, which have never won 2 races, so pretty basic in terms of its the race, the condition books here. So why do you think the 2 horse at 10 to 1, Mickey from Wexford, is worthy of a long shot?
Well, he's already won.
By the way,
yeah.
Yesterday, you texted me, my long shot beat your long shot.
Yeah.
So your long shot finished second to last. Mine finished last, but at least mine tried. Yours never even tried.
Oh, mine got up around 4th place during the race and then dropped back. So,
mine was second for most of the race.
Yes,
mine tried to win. Your horse was just out there for a jog.
That's true.
And for me, Terry, if it doesn't end up cashing, there's no such thing as winning.
Well, that's true. But then yours quit harder than mine did. So anyway.
No, mine tried. Yours never even tried.
Oh, yeah, he tried. He just didn't get through that traffic. Anyway, today, my long shot of the day is the number 2, Mickey from Rexford. And, he's already won his debut race at Keeneland, and they added Lasix today. And then number 6, Overbore, is my second pick. He has finished in the money into all of his career races, winning one of them and running second versus a similar in last race. And he has a high percentage winning trainer, and Lasix is added. And then number 12, Verate. He won his debut race at Belmont, receiving the highest last speed rating, and was well bet in his debut. He has a trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days have won 2 out of 5 races, and they added Lasix. And then number 8, La Belza Negra. He has finished in the money in 5 of the last 6 races, winning one of them, and the trainer wins 19% of the time when bringing back a beaten favorite to race again. And then a return to dirt should really help this horse, including the short distance. And he has a good 4 furlong workout on, April 6th, 48-2 Breezy.
This might be a good box it up race here too, Terry, because I think you can might get some prices in here. And I have Overbore as the top choice here. Keeneland run down the track twice, has a second and a third. It's getting first-time Lasix, also has a little bit of giddy up and go. I like trainer Wesley Ward. 6 furlongs is probably about as far as I would go with him. But first time his horses get a dose of Lasix, he wins at 27%. So that combination of speed and Lasix, a lot of times we do see that play out in the second half of the race. Mickey from Wexford, not quite sure who that is, but I'm sure the person who named that horse has someone specific in mind, did win his debut at Keeneland with a strong late run. Nice work on March the 30th, and then afterwards put in another tightener. So I think Mickey from Wexford is a good shot here at a price as well. I agree with you, Terry. Number 12, Varate, did win his debut in September. That was a long time ago. But it was the top last race speed figure, and I like the fact that since March the 3rd, so not that long ago, a little bit more than a month ago, the horse has 28 furlongs of workout. So I don't have any question that Varate is going to be fit, firm, and ready to run. And then finally, Buckingham Prince. Horse is making its third start off a layoff. Showed some nice improvement in the first half mile of its last race. And I like to switch to IRAD here again because I feel like when you have IRAD on the horse, especially if he's got the lead late, you know that he's going to do what it takes to get to the finish line first, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I agree. 4 and 5, tough races. Yeah.
They are tough. Yeah.
I think every race at Keeneland is tough, Terry. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I have a
Is
hard
it a
time
mental
there.
thing or is it real?
No, I think it's real. I think it's because they're most of the time they're very competitive horses coming. They're really good horses, and they have usually pretty good long fields. So it's really hard to single out horses that can win in that. But on the positive side is you can hit a lot of good exactas and trifectas and some pick fours. So
my long shot play of the day, number 9 in race number 5. This horse gets Jose Ortiz and Asman Reeves. Oh, is that Patty and Dean Reeves? Yes. They're very nice people. I've talked to them quite a bit. And like I've said many times, if there's nicer people in racing, I want to know who they are because those folks are very nice. So let's look at our pick fours for the hot dog, Terry. Absolutely. Okay. Let's start there. Race number 2. I'm going to single that 8 horse. Every time the thing about when I single a horse is if it wins, I usually do okay with the pick 4. I usually win it. But if it loses, well, of course, I lose the pick 4. That's without saying. But I just felt like the 8 horse with the 43% maiden special weight, the maiden claiming drop, just too big of a number on a horse that just looks like it's the best horse in the field. Hopefully, if it does lose some steam in the stretch, it doesn't do so until it hits the finish wire, Terry. Yeah. But I'm going to go 1. I'm going to single the 8, take it a stand, and then I'm going to go 4, 3, and 3 for my $18. You're going to do the Legos 2, 3, 2, 3.
Yeah, and let me tell you, whenever I single a horse, it just seems to me most of the time my horse runs second. That's
so you feel like you jinx it.
Yeah, and there's no way for us to both win the hot dog again today because in that 4th race we both have completely different horses.
Once again, you've picked the wrong ones.
We'll see.
All right, Terry. So let's go ahead and before we move on to the second half of the card tonight, we're going to have on horse announcer from the Turf Paradise, Craig Braddock, will join us again this evening.
He was good last time. So.
We were hoping to catch him on the last race of the card so that we can have him like filming from inside the studio, calling that last race. But unfortunately, I don't think they're going to run. I think we'll start at 8 p.m. just after they finish up that race down there at Turf Paradise. So make sure, if you haven't done so already, tune in to tonight's Horse Center. It's going to be Sean's saddest day of the week, Wednesday. It always is. The last day of Horse Center, we'll talk to Craig. If you got any questions for him, hit us up in the comments box. You can email them to me at GTSRichB, or you can let us know on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. You see the handle right down there. Please subscribe, thumbs up. They help us a lot with the algorithms. All right, Terry, let's move on to the second half of the card, starting specifically in race number 6. And right now, Charles says the weather is beautiful down there in the late afternoon. I did read that they are expecting rain. Right now, that race is on the turf. So only 2 scratches in that race, and those were the 2 main track only entrants. So at a mile and an 1/8 on the turf, they've run 4 races. 50-50, 2 winners from the front, 2 winners from the middle or back. 3 of the 4 winners had a post of 1, 2, or 3. So really not a lot of data here for that, Terry. So I wouldn't really pay a whole lot of attention to the biases yet. I'm going to start with my long shot here, Terry. There was a couple of them I was thinking about long shotting in here between the 5 and the 7. I went with Arabian Prince. As Charles mentioned, the long shot, the horses coming from off the pace have done pretty well. I prefer horses at distances that have a little bit of a late kick in them. Arabian Prince has the top late pace figures in this field by a decent margin. And he's run at the distance twice, been the runner-up both times. So the gambler's fallacy, he's due. This one will definitely be flying late. And I expect it to be flying late and improving in its second start off the bench. So we got a lot of 2s here. 2 for 2 at the distance coming in second, and second start off the bench for the 5-horse, Terry. That's my long shot.
Yeah, well, that's good. Actually, in this race here, I like the number 6 of Aviano. Aviano. Yeah, you're my
official show pronunciator.
That's right. You're official for me. Anyway, he is finishing the money in all of his career races, winning one of those. And he has a high percentage winning trainer, Todd Pletcher, and a high percentage winning jockey who in the last 7 days has won 6 out of 23, been in the money 13 times. He has the highest last race speed rating and his best turf speed is fastest among today's starters. Assuming that it stays on the turf, I think he marks all the boxes. Then number 3, Contagiously. He has won 2 out of the last 4 races, running third in his last one. He likes the turf, finishing the money 50% of the time in turf races, and he's won 3 of those races. And then your long shot of the day, number 5, is my third pick, Arabian Prince.
Should be your first pick, but that's okay.
He has run second in his last 2 races on the turf. And then number 7, Winworthy, is my 4th pick. He is a closer who has been close to the last couple of races on the turf, and now has a new jockey, Tyler Glaffione, who may be just the ticket he needs to win.
Yes, me and Tyler G. I'm damned if I bet on him, and I'm damned if I don't. Number 6, Aviano, did have the top last race speed figure in the last one. Never missed the board in 6 starts, including 1 across a sloppy track. So if the rain does come and they move off the grass to the dirt, Aviano should be one that should fare just fine. The 7-horse Winworthy is a horse that has done well at Keeneland, ran there one time and won it. It's a horse that much like my 5-horse, similar profiles. I expect this one to be trucking late as well. Then you got the English Invader, the 9-horse, King Vega. So as I was running through the pace setup for this race, Terry, there really isn't much speed in here. Most everybody wants to come from way back of the pack. Got a couple that don't mind pressuring the leader. And then you have a few that don't mind like sitting right behind the chasers and then trying to close, but really nobody that gets to the front. And if you look at the notes from the races over in England for King Vega, it was press the leaders led. And this horse has been facing group 1, 2, and 3 company over in England. So he's probably been facing tougher. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the 9-horse get off to a good start, get to the front. And if he can get away with some easy fractions, I wouldn't be surprised to see a wire-to-wire effort here. So that one scares me. And that's a good long shot play of the day as well, I think.
Yeah.
See, last spring, Union Rag Sire won 8 out of 9 in this type of race. That lands me on the 4 in race number 6. And
that's good information.
And neither one of us have the 4-horse. So, like I said, Charles is the E.F. Hutton of horse racing, my friends.
Yeah, he's good. He comes up with some really good picks.
When he talks, man, you better listen.
Listen, yes.
Absolutely, for sure. Well, you do have the 4 in the next race, Terry, race number 7, which is a mile and a 16th, optional, claiming $62,500 for a purse of $120,000. Big money at stake on this one. 4-year-olds and up, which have never won $10,000 twice, other than maiden, claiming, or starter, or have which never won 3 races, were claiming price of $62,500. It's a lot of different stuff going on there. At a mile and a 16th, Terry, they actually have run some races, 33 of them. That's probably in the last meet. 23 won by speed, a third of them. 11 went wire to wire. There is a ginormous rail bias here, Terry, the inside 3. And if you get an 8+, it's a pretty big penalty. This one's your box it up. So let's pull that up on the screen, and you can tell everybody why these 4 horses make sense for an exacta, trifecta, and superfecta box.
Well, actually, originally the eighth race was my box it up, but they had so many scratches they decimated that race, so I changed to this race. But let's start with the number 4 as my first pick, Stage Raider. He finished sixth in his last race, but he stumbled really pretty bad at the start, and he came 6 wide into the stretch. Previously, he had won 2 in a row easily. They added blinkers today, and the jockey in the last 7 days has a record of 23 starts, 6 wins, 5 seconds, and 2/3. Then my second choice is number 9, Winter Pull. He won his last race at Aqueduct, has the highest last race speed rating, and switches to a high percentage winning jockey. Then number 7, Laughing Boy. He ran second in his last race, has a trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days have won 3 out of 11 starts. And he has a bullet work at Gulfstream Park, 48 breezing, best of 7. Then number 3, Portos. He has not raced since last June, but he has a bullet workout on April 6th of 1 minute 4 breezing, and it was a best of 4. And the trainer jockey combination the last 14 days have won 2 out of 5 races.
Not a bad combination there at all. So that's a pretty attractive box it up, Terry. I agree with you on that 4 horse. It is my best bet of the day, and Stage Raider has the top late pace numbers in this field by a pretty good margin. Horse is usually better, usually placed like middle of the pack. And again, looking at the pace setup in this field, I only see the 1 and 7 really getting to the front. Most everybody else will be horses that tend to stalk and then chase. And then the 4 horse could be third, maybe fourth, and then use those late pace numbers to run right by everybody today. Number 9, Winter Pool, won his last by 7.5 lengths. And the resume says expect Winter Pool to be better in the second race off the bench. Also has a trip across the Keeneland track where it finished second. Number 7, Laughing Boy, has a couple of bullet workouts getting ready for this race. He has not run since November the 25th. Does have a win across the Keeneland track, and he's two races at the distance for a win and a second. Quite a few horses in here, Terry, are taking a lot of time off. I had the 3 horse in there, Portos, but that one's been off even longer. And the workouts were not as inspiring as the 7's workouts were. So I went with number 8 in here, Pirates Punch, which was a hard call, admittedly, for me over to 3. But this horse has been facing graded company and non-graded company for like most of its last 10 starts. If you look at the distance against that high-quality company, the horse has run 13 times with 3 wins, 3 seconds, and 4/3. Last race of the day, Terry. It's nice to have 8 races instead of 11 or 12 races, right?
That's right.
Especially when we're doing all that work. It takes time. This one is approximately 7 furlongs. It's an allowance $50,000 race. Purse of $55,000 for fillies 3 years old, which have never started for a claiming price of $50,000 or less, and which have never won a race other than maiden or claiming. And this almost 7 furlong races, Terry, 4 of them, 3 won by speed, and all those 3 went wire to wire. If the 2 of those winners came from the rail, 1 came from the 2 or 3 spot, and the other came from an 8 and above. We both like Santa Elena as our top pick.
Well, she's really done well. She's won 4 of the last 4 races, all in a row. Anyway, she drops in class today. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a high percentage winning trainer. She has a trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days has the record of 3 starts, 2 wins. So she has a lot of boxes that she marks off. And then number 4, Dream Music. She won her last race at the fairgrounds and has a decent workout at Keeneland, 49.2 breezing. And then I like number 7, Mercy Warren, as my third pick. She won her last race at Gulfstream Park, has a high percentage winning trainer and a high percentage winning jockey. And then number 6, Running Rapid is my fourth pick. She finished third in her last race and has 2 bullet workouts in a row.
So it looks to me like Attila likes the 9 horse. Those English horses, they do like that soft going. So if the track is a little bit soft over there at Keeneland today because of some wetness. But I think the horse is going to be forwardly placed too. He mentions that it's a $450,000 horse, so it's not inexpensive at all. Charles says keep an eye out for the 2-horse in race 7. Pratt got all of his wins so far have come on the dirt, so neither one of us have the 2-horse in that race. Hopefully he doesn't blow up your box it up, Terry, or our late pick 4s. He can finish second, Charles. Doesn't need to win, right?
Yeah.
All right, so my final picks of the day. I like the 8-horse as well. Saint Helena. Been on a fast track 3 times. Terry won 3 of them. I don't know that by the time that race starts, the horse is going to get a fast track. But in the mud, a lot of times you get to the front, you got a chance to win. 3 out of 4 winners so far have gone wire to wire. St. Helena has the best early legs in the field. Wouldn't be surprised if she goes wire to wire here. Dream Music is one that it's probably going to sit right behind the 8-horse. And then, or if the 8-horse goes a little too slow, could be on the lead because it did show the E-type in the last race out, but has the top late pace figure. So I really think it's going to come down to the 8 and 4 for this race, Terry. Number 7, Mercy Warren might screw it up a little bit. Did break her maiden in the last with the top last race speed figure. So I'm not afraid to take maidens off of the top last race speed figure, and did show improvement in its pace numbers for the 2, 4, and late pace numbers as well. Finally, Rosada, the 2-horse. This is one that could be better in the 3rd start after a layoff, but will need to bounce back following some regression in round number 2 off the bench. But a lot of times you see that with a young horse, gets a little bit of time off, comes back, runs really well fresh. Second start, maybe a little bit of tiredness in the legs, just doesn't run as well, and then bounces back in the 3rd race. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to see out of Rosada. And that wraps up the picks, Terry. So now we got to pop up those prime rib pick 4s. And you decided to go big. You can't press that all button all the time, but you're sure as hell tried in that first race.
Yeah, I figured that race was really wide open compared to all the rest of the races today. So that's why I did that.
So Terry goes 6 by 4 by 4 by 2. Although I do think that, I do think the 8 and 4 are probably the 2 best horses in that last leg. I went 4 by 4 by 3 by 4, even though I feel like the 8 and 4 probably are the ones that you're going to have to catch. I do feel like the 4, 9, and 7 in race number 7 probably are going to be tough to beat as well. So maybe I should have spread it out a little bit more on top and went with just the 8 and the 4 in the end. But I wanted to have a little bit of coverage in case I got to that last leg alive, Terry.
Well, I'll tell you, you almost hit the all button in that last race because there's only 5 horses in that race.
Yes. Well, I didn't hit the all button though, Terry. So if I only pick 4 out of 5, you know which one's going to win.
Yeah, the one you didn't pick.
The 6 horse.
Number 6
absolutely.
horse, yeah.
Yes.
My 4th
but you
pick.
don't have them either in your hot dog.
I do not. No.
4, so you won't benefit either by my misfortunes. That's
I
for
will
sure.
not.
All right, Terry. Any final thoughts before we get up and out of here today?
Yeah, I'll tell you, I really love our shirts that we got. These shirts here, they wear well. They don't shrink in the wash. I really love them, and I think if you haven't got yours yet, you should get those. And the hats are great and really good quality. I'll tell you. So,
yes, you can go over to horseracingtoday.net, click on the HRT gear. You'll find it right there. We do appreciate your support for those of you who have stepped out and bought it, and hopefully, when we get out to the track, we'll see you sporting your HRT pride, and everyone will know you're smarter for it. That's for sure, right?
That's right.
We all agree on the 8-4-8 for me, Chalky, Exacta, 4-8-4-8, all. Terry bet on the trifecta with the all in the back button there. If you're going to do Evangeline Downs tonight, Terry, if you head on over to to guaranteedtipsheet.com, there will be a link in the YouTube description. Also a link on our Facebook and social media sites. You can also head over to horseracingtoday.net, click on a link there. Takes you over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet, and you'll see Evangeline Downs today is the free track tonight. Give you something to do while you're sitting around waiting for us to bring on Craig Praddock for the Horse Center show. Number 3 is Nami, top choice in race number 1 and a best bet. Yeah.
And then tomorrow we're doing Keeneland again, and I had a chance to look at it. There's 9 races tomorrow, and I really like the so far what I've seen. I like the fields. I think we're going to have a good day today and a fantastic day tomorrow.
Yeah, so we'll be at Keeneland again tomorrow. Tom and I are going to be doing good luck to you as well, Charles. Have a great afternoon. Have fun down there in Keeneland if that's where you are. On Friday, Tom and I for Foreign Fridays, we'll be doing New Market. Terry and I will clean up the stakes races. We're going to do Keeneland again tomorrow night for our Players Edge podcast for the Lexington, the final of the qualifying races for the Kentucky Derby. After that, the field will be set, Terry. Well, at least the horses that are qualified have been set. We'll see who scratches out, who stays, and who doesn't stay.
Yeah.
So that kind of wraps up the week right there, Terry.
It does. It does. So everybody, hope you have a great day and great rest of the week. And as I've always said, if you haven't told your loved ones that you love them, give them a big hug, which I did with my son and my daughter last night. You should do that because life can be awful short sometimes.
Have a good day to you as well, Attila. We appreciate it. Again, if you haven't done so already on Facebook, please like us with the thumbs up. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Horse Race, the number 2 day. And then on YouTube, thumbs up. We appreciate everybody getting us over the 1,000-person hump and over the 4,000-hour hump so we can monetize that. We owe all of that to you. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate it. And as always, Terry, we hope all of your picks today, be it at Keeneland, Tampa Bay Downs, Evangeline Downs, wherever you're playing tonight, heck, even if you're playing any NBA games or something along those lines, we hope that every single one of your picks and your hump day ends up in
the winner's circle.
It does indeed. We'll see you tonight. Have a fantastic Wednesday.